Hello YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick update on a few things I've got going on, including the shipment that I brought in this weekend. First we'll start off with my pair of Jags, the wild guys at Nicaragua from, I believe it's called Rio, Panama. Jeff Rapp's brought in. Here's my big fat female. Very active. Very protective. There you go. Oh yeah. Look how white she gets. Yellow face. Fat little girl, ain't she? Here's my big boy. These guys are real close to 10. He's got to be easy 10, 11 inches. She's probably about 9.5, 10. Get some attitude out of him. He's not so much, as you can tell, the female. She'd love to get a hold of me. I guess I have that effect on the girls. Anyway, there's got to be 1,500 fry easy in this tank. You know, once they started lifting off and swimming, numbers were insane. You know, it's hard to tell when they're all grouped up, wiggling in a corner. Yesterday I looked in this tank and the entire 125 was full. Right now they're grouped up, so you can't really see a lot of them. But once they disperse through the tank, it's ridiculous. My plan with these fry is I have a local distributor up here called Coral Maniacs. They said they're going to buy some fry off me, but obviously they want to wait till they're about an inch. I've got a few people interested, so I'm going to pull a small group out of here when I get home next month and throw them in a little tank to grow out. And then I'm going to start pulling out netfuls and feeding off to my fish. And whatever I can't catch will remain in this tank to grow out a little bit further until they get to the size where I can catch them. And if the parents spawn again, which I'm sure they will, they'll either eat the fry or the fry will eat the new batch, which will obviously be a good population control for me. So we'll see how they turn out. I can't guarantee how many I'm going to have. I really don't have tons of room to grow a bunch out, especially with the Umbi projects, my fest days, and a few other things I got going on. Umbi King is sending me some of his Location X. He spawned with Supreme X, his wild Location X male, and a Rio Mag female from the general line. I think his strain is going to be much nicer than mine and World Below's, although they're both pretty nice. Just starting to come around with color. If you look at World Below's male, little male, starting to color up. Just to be what, you know, just a small episode of what's to be expected with those Magnum X's. The females are phenomenal. Those of you that have the females I sent off know what I'm talking about. World Below again has a nice big female Mag X that's paired out with his Location X, which he is going to be calling Dos Akis. I'm not too sure how much he's going to be, how many of those he plans on selling, if he does, and when. But I'm excited to have some blue umbies. Chris says his coming, he said in a mirror, going to be about 3 inches. And supposedly some of his top pick grow outs that he pulled out for himself. So I'm definitely going to grow some of them out, and hopefully I'll get a nice little male to tide me over until my ultimate blue project is finished. Because I can't sit here with empty tanks and not have a showpiece umbi. We're going to go ahead and move on. These are tons of jag fry. I got to be about 1,500 in this tank. So lots of fry. All my other fish are going to be happy to be fed live food. We'll go ahead and move on over to Prime. I have pulled out all their fry and moved them. Hold on, I need to get me a seat. Grab this bucket over here. Yep. Cleaned out my garage today. So, here we go. Here's Big Boy Prime. There was a discussion. I had some thoughts of selling this guy, but I've changed my mind. This guy's not going anywhere. I'm going to grow this guy out until one of us passes. Or unless somebody offers me a ridiculous amount of money, which then I might not be able to pass up. But until then, he's going to be my poster child. You know, my little flagship dude. He is amazing. He's so thick. If I could show you, well, you can't really tell in this video. You can kind of see some thickness, but that's almost 3 inches. Almost 3 inches thick. At least about 2.5, easy. As far as height goes, he's got to be 5. Easy 5, maybe 6 inches tall. There is one little fry in there. You can see swimming around on that slab of rock. Prime's gonna stay. I love that guy. I can't get rid of him. He's a damn football. He's freaking huge. He's got to be easy 12 inches. The female, she's hanging out by herself. I'm gonna keep these two divided for a little while, just because I want to put some size on my male. You know, spawning them did hinder his growth a little bit. She exploded in size. So I'm gonna grow out my big boy and put on a couple ounces, because obviously he's not gonna gain pounds anytime soon. Well, oh, there's 2 fried. Look at that. The Lone Rangers. There's my big boy right there. Gorillus Prime. Gorilla Blue Umbies. Very beautiful. Not really aggressive. This guy anyway. He's like a gentle giant, man. He doesn't eat the fry. He's very interested in spawning with his female, which if she lays eggs to the divider or whatever, I guess. But and look at her reds. Right on top of her head. Look at those red freckles. Tons of freckles on this female. Ice blue gill plate. Electric blue and white down her body. Since I pulled the fry, the pair has been a little more active, which I like. I've got to have interaction with my fish. And the thing with Prime is, he was just showing me his ass back there in that back corner of the tank, and I wasn't really appreciating that too much. Look at his colors. When he hits that light at the right angle, man, he just glows. These are the electric blue umbies, pretty much. This is their second batch of F2s that I'm putting out, which over there in that 55-gallon tank. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. There's at least a couple hundred in there. They're all spoken for. Looks like Cichlid Connection might be taking a couple, but Jeff Rapps hit me up and was interested in picking up some fry, which excites me because we all know Jeff Rapps is an old school vendor, been all over. My biggest thing is trying to get these guys overseas, hit Asia and Europe, get some Gorilla Blues and all you guys' hands over there, as I know Jeff and Gage both will ship internationally. Chris still does have some F1s if anybody's interested in, that he needs to thin out, finish selling off. But I'm definitely interested in, and can't wait to see these guys grow out, and those of yours tanks overseas, finally getting some Gorilla Blues over there. Storm in Normandy, right there. So, what I'll do is we'll move on up over to my 180 here in a second. Show you some of my Haitiensis that I picked up. Here we go. Very excited with these guys. I ordered 30. I got about 20 something, give or take. I haven't counted. I don't remember how many I lost. But get rid of that light real quick. There we go. These guys, let me zoom in, focus up. There we go. one of the groups that I got was really skinny. You can see that guy right there. Come on, focus. There we go. Really skinny. I don't know what was going on there. That one group, I lost over half of that group. He sent me 2 groups in 4 bags, and one of the bags of that second group didn't make it at all. It was probably just one of those, once the death starts, it's contagious. They're very active all over this tank. I'm very excited. I got 1.5-inchers, a couple almost up to 2-inch. Like right there, that little guy right there is going to be one of the big heads. Too bad I can't get a good shot. Those 3 right there are going to be the big heads. When I say big head, I don't mean golf ball size, like some of the flower horns and ridiculous Midas. I'm really not into the flower horn and golf ball heads. I do like strong nuchal humps that you see on some of these Haitiensis and Dovi and Umbies. Of course, it complements a lot of these fish, even the Midas. I just don't want some big freaking globe on top of their head. I want something nice and strong. So hopefully here by the end of summer, these guys will be 3 inches, pairing out. Definitely interested in seeing how they turn out. Now, I believe I found the key to success with these guys a while back on one of my previous batches of Haitiensis that I bought. Out of that group, I purchased 17 and only lost 1, which was due to aggression. Now, one of them did I lose to bloat. Before that, it was hit or miss. Lots of bloat epidemics. I think I found the key. It's hard to explain. I'm sure everyone's going to know, what any tips on the Haitiensis. And all I can say is a lot of it is experience and knowing what to look for and raising fish and these types of species periodically and basically being able to observe your fish to see any different signs and trends and activity and behavior and eating patterns and so on and so forth in order for me to explain what I can explain to you and be able to pick it up and understand it. But for the most part, the Haitiensis, keep your water, mid-80s, anywhere from 82 to 86. That's all I keep mine in. Currently, right now, mine's at about 84. Maximize your oxygen, because when you raise your temperature, it depletes the oxygen level in your tank, and people forget that. So increase your oxygen. Over here, I've got a 24-inch little airline, perforated, and back here I got about a 12-inch, and I got 2 sponge filters and an Aquaclear 110 and a Walmart special hang on the back, which offers a lot of oxygen in my tank. Number 2, or I would be number 3. The first 2 would be the temperature and the oxygen. Number 3 is find a home for them that they can stay in for a good 3 months before having to pull anybody out and move them. So that could take some strategy and some pre-planning depending on how many you want to get. I suggest a minimum of 6-foot tank and getting at least a dozen to start, because you're going to have to calculate in losses with shipping and possible bloat. Once you get that established, make sure that tank is not going to be in a high traffic area, which is not going to stress them out. My tanks are in the garage. They don't get stressed out. Look at all these guys, very active, swimming back and forth in the tank, showing me very positive signs of success so far. And number 4 is feeding. I don't give into that whole protein, the food being contributed to bloat. I believe, hexamida, which is the key factor to their bloat, is every fish it's a bacteria thing. All these fish come with natural bacteria in their bodies. And with the Haitiensis, once they're stressed, their immune system drops and is affected, allowing the hexamida, which is an internal parasite, to become over rampant, which in end result kills the fish. These aren't like flower horns where you've got to treat them constantly. Once the Haitiensis reach 4 to 5 inches, you're usually in the clear. So the first month of receiving them, I feed them nothing but flake. You know, I was going to treat them as medicine, but I decided against it just because of the way they came in. I don't like having to treat with medicine if I don't have to. So what I did is I bought some food that has Metro already in the food. So I'm feeding them that, which is a flake. I feed them twice a day. I don't overdo it. Yes, these guys are hungry little pigs and will continue to eat until they explode. So I feed them twice a day. I'm leaving Friday for 2 weeks, and when I get back, whatever's still alive, hope, you know, knock on wood, I hope they're all still alive. But I believe whatever's still alive when I get home in 3 weeks from now will be alive the rest of their grow out, aside from any individual murderings, homicidal maniacs that I may have growing out in this group. But I shouldn't lose any more to bloat, if I lose any at all. My biggest concern is these little skinny guys that came in and looked pretty emancipated. You can see that guy right there, he's flashing. So I keep an eye on him and these guys really close. But those emaciated guys are pigging out. They eat really good. They're not really picky, so hopefully I can bring them back from Skeletor to He-Man level. So again, you've got your water temperature, you got your oxygen levels, you've got the low stress, low trafficking areas, you've got your food. Once I get home, I'm going to start adding pellets. You know, and I'm going to feed growth pellets, color pellets, probably busted up NLS, some krill, and I'll probably start feeding them krill, frozen krill, and breaking that up for them. And in about 2 months, I'll just increase as they grow. I'm gonna increase the size of the pellets. You know, I'm not worried about protein. Once they hit 4 or 5 inches, it's massive over time. Like I said, I've never had any issues. That last batch, they grew like weeds. I got them at 3 inches, and in August, and by Christmas time, my biggest males were pushing 7.5. So I got a pretty good success rate with those guys. So just keep it simple, and don't stress. If you do see signs of bloat, clout, the medication I use, it's like us hobbyists will pretty much consider that nuclear medication, because it will destroy all your bacteria in your tank. So you have to be careful using that. But clout works really good for me. And then basically the signs you're looking for are signs of, well, obviously bloating, getting fat bellies, white stringy poo that doesn't fall off, weird behavior, hanging out in the back of the tanks up by themselves, not being social. As soon as you see them not being social, that's when you need to pay attention to those fish and be looking for the other signs, symptoms of the white stringy poo, the stomach's getting expanded, the lack of appetite, and then you need to act quick, because with these guys it's a hit or miss. I believe Gage has some of the best genetics as far as strong lines. I never had any problem with his. So we'll see how they go. Now, pan over here to my little F1 male reaper. I moved him into the 75 and he loves it, man. Ever since I put him in here, he's been doing dry runs on this flower pot over here, acting like he wants to spawn. Goof, cracking me up. And look at his patterns, man. Incredible looking jag. Phenomenal. You can barely see the blues and the greens coming in his fins. The patterns on him, he's getting thick. His personality's coming in. He comes over and sees me all the time. I think he's a little hesitant because of this camera, but he's a beautiful fish. I think my time's going to run out on this video, so I'm going to have to pause it here and restart. Alright, here we go. This video is going to be pretty long, so I apologize. Appreciate everybody's patience and sticking with me here. I really like this Jag, man. My wild pair is really nice too, and I think they're going to put out some extremely exceptional fry. It's not why I bought them. I don't know anybody else who bought a pair from Raps, from that strain that he brought in. I would like to know if, it would be nice to know who else has them. I've seen a couple people on Monster Fish Keepers, come on focus, there we go, who has bought some individual males. He's beautiful. I can't wait till he gets bigger. He definitely likes swimming that tank down there. I'm not going to focus here, but zoom in. Nope. He's an attention hound. This guy's going to definitely be one of my little celebrities in here. With all his attention he wants. Very active, very friendly. I love this male. I mean, he may not be the nicest one out there, but I think he's got some serious potential, and I'm excited to see how he turns out. Well, YouTube, I think I'm going to call it a night and wrap this video up. Again, I want to shout out to Jeff Heiser. His little mini micros machine is looking fantastic. He's going to be an awesome little male, and he came from Forrest, Fishman 09, his pair. His pair is blue his pair is Azul, there you go. It is looking phenomenal. His male is starting to grow a nice little hump. Same with his Doveye, looks like he's advertising Doveye fry. Really cheap prices too, 10 for 25 bucks. I mean, that's pretty cheap, especially for some quality Doveye. Mr. Man, he's one of my good buddies. He's doing his umpy thing over there. His Gorilla Blue pair is for sale. Can't believe he still has them once he broadcasted that he's going to sell them. That pair is phenomenal. Keep in mind, everybody, I think Prime is the only successful breeding pair of Gorillus Blues. You have the Gorillus Blacks, which Crimson Fog on MFK. Look at him flare up. What a pig. Look at that boy. I know Mike spawned, but I don't think he yielded any fry keepers that he grew out. House 64, Sean, he spawned his blacks. Ghani, Ruck Fools, he spawned his blacks. So there's a few Gorilla Black pairs out there spawning, but no Gorilla Blues. Mike did spawn his Gorilla Blue pair, but wasn't able to snag the fry in time. I'm not quite sure what happened there, if it was due to one of the male or female, or who knows. But they're still young and need some tender love and care, and then they will be right along Prime. So anybody wants to contend and get in there and get a spawning pair of Gorilla Blues, I highly recommend snagging up Mike's pair. So with that being said, everybody, have a good night. I really appreciate the followers. Please check us out on YouTube, Freshwater Predators, Mr. Man, Cichlids. We got our websites posted up. Just trying to get some attention and some publicity. Get us out there for those people that don't follow YouTube or Facebook or vice versa. So anyway, everybody, have a good night, and I'll see you guys later.